Okay, hello. What we're going to do today is we're going to do a area formula for you guys for triangles. And now that we know the law of sines, law of cosines, we should be able to complete not only right triangles but non-right triangles as well. Anything we want, as long as we have certain information. But I'm going to teach you two different area formulas today that help you kind of get the area quicker without needing certain things, right? So here I do triangle ABC, right? And um, if you want to calculate the area of this triangle right here, right? The area formula we know is area equals 1/2 times the base times the height, right? 1/2 times base times height, which would mean I would need this length right here if it was sitting right here, and then I would need how high the triangle was too, right? See that H? Okay. Well, the problem is it's not always a right triangle, so that H wouldn't always be just sitting straight up, right? You might have to do some calculations to find it. Well, we can actually use this right here to derive a formula similar to what we did with the law of sines. If you go back and watch how we derived the law of sines, but let's say you looked at these two angles right here, angle A and angle C, right? Okay. So if I looked at angle A, like I have, if I look at this little right triangle right here, right? This is the opposite, this is the hypotenuse. So I could say something like this. I could say the sine of A equals H over C. When you agree with that, the sine of A, right, is equal to H over C. And I could say something similar for C, right? I could say the sine of C equals H over A, right? See that? Okay. And conveniently, if you look at this triangle, the base is actually B, right? That's actually side B because of that. It just coincidentally happens that we use lowercase b for the length of the base, right? But if I isolated, let's say I took this formula right here and I isolated H, I would just multiply the C over, right? So H would equal C times the sine of A, right? H equals C times the sine of A. See that? And if I substitute that in for this H right here, and I say the base is B, we come up with this formula that area equals 1/2 times the base, which is B, right? Times the height, which is C times sine A. So look, C times sine A. Well, look at that formula, 1/2 BC sine A, okay? You could do something similar here, right? Watch this. Here, H would equal A times the sine of C, right? So if I substitute that in, its area equals 1/2 BA times the sine of C, okay? There's one more formula you could do here. Look at this pattern here, okay? 1/2 BC sine A, 1/2 BA sine C. The other one would be area equals 1/2, let's see, A times C times the sine of B. Well, these three formulas right here are three easy area formulas for any triangle you have. Okay, now let me show you what this means. Okay, so everybody right now, I want you to take a moment, pause this, and write those down. 1/2 BC sine A, 1/2 AB sine C, 1/2 AC sine B, right? Okay. Here's what we got. So write those down. Okay. So basically what we have here is this. I'm going to write that triangle out again. So just triangle ABC, right? ABC. So here's triangle ABC, right? And let's say I took one of those formulas. So area equals 1/2, I'll just say AB sine C. Okay, see that? AB sine C. So here's what that means. Here's A, here's B, here's C, okay? What are these two things right here? Well, those are sides, right? Look, A and B. See those? And you notice C sandwiched right in the middle? So same thing here. Look, area equals 1/2 BC sine A. Look at this. See how B and C are right here and A is right in the middle? And the same thing is true with this. Area equals 1/2 AC sine B. See how you have A and C here and B in the middle, right? What this means is basically if you have two sides and an angle sandwiched in between them, you can use this formula right here, which we just derived a minute ago, and find the area of the triangle without actually having to go through and find like the height, okay? So write those three formulas down if you haven't already, and I just want to show you how you can apply those to find the area of a triangle. So what I did was I just was sitting around. It was sunny this afternoon. My wife said, "Why don't you go outside and play with the dog or something?" I said, "No, baby, I'm going to sit here and create some non-right triangles for my lesson later." And she called me a psychopath, but whatever. Here we go. Okay, this is one of the triangles that I created, okay? So I want to find the area, okay? Well, you might say, well, Mr. Winslow, I need the height to do that. Well, no, you wouldn't, not based on those triangles, okay? Or the formulas I just gave you. So let's just call this HIJ, okay? So here's triangle HIJ, right? And I say, hey, I want you to find the area of this, okay? So watch this. Here's all you got to do. And I've actually completed it for you, so you have anything you want. You don't always have all this, but let's say this time you do, okay? So here's what you do if you want the area of this triangle, okay? Pick two sides. I'm going to pick 8 and 12, right? Pick the angle between them, 55.77. Here's all you got to do. Area equals 1/2 times 8 times 12 times the sine of the angle in between them, like that. See that? 8, 12, angle in between them, right? And that would get me the area. So let's calculate this real quick. 1/2 times 8 times 12, right? Times the sine of 55.77. Make sure you're in degree mode. And I'm getting that's approximately 39.69 units squared, right? Okay. We say, hey, what if I picked a different two sides and angle? Okay, great. Let's do the 10 and the 12, right? With the 41.41 in between. Look, area equals 1/2 times 10 times 12 times the sine of 41.41. This should give me approximately the same thing. So if I take my calculator, 1/2 times 10 times 12 times the sine of 41.41, I'm getting 39.69 again. See that? So it doesn't matter. All you have to do is take two sides with an angle in between them. If you have that, you don't even need the other stuff. You can find the area of the triangle. So that's why we say 1/2 BC sine A, 1/2 AC sine B, whatever. You could say 1/2, what's that, IJ sine H, whatever you need to do, but just two sides with an angle between. It's easy, okay? So that's the first one, okay? And I'm going to write that, what was that, 39.69? I'm going to write that up here. Okay, units squared. So we know the area of that triangle is 39.69 units squared approximately, right? So here's what I'm going to do, because I'm a jerk. I'm going to do this. Okay, so what if I come to you on the test, which is most likely next Tuesday? So you have this right here, right? And I say I want the area of this. Well, we know it's 39.69 because we just did it, but you don't have any angles, right? So you got a couple options here, okay? So the first option is this. You could say, I'll just find that angle, Mr. Winslow. We learned last week how to use the law of cosines to find an angle in a side. I'll just do that. And you could do that, right? You could just take the law of sines, or excuse me, law of cosines, find that angle, and then take 1/2 this times the sine of that, right? And you'd be done. No problem, okay? So that's one option. Now, there's another option. It's called Heron's formula. Okay, let me write that a little better. Heron, Heron. Okay, and Heron's formula, what it does is it will get you the area of a triangle when you just have the three sides. Okay, and you don't want to mess with angles. Okay, so in order to understand Heron's formula, you first need to understand this. You first need to understand this S variable, okay? Okay. So S, all S is it's, I'm going to use this HIJ here, okay? So we usually use ABC. I'm just kind of breaking from that. But S is just this, look. S is something called the semi-perimeter, okay? So what S is it's all the sides added up divided by 2. The reason they call it semi-perimeter is half the perimeter, right? Okay, so look, if we found the semi-perimeter here, it would be 10 plus 8 plus 12, right? Divided by 2, which would be 30 divided by 2, which is 15, okay? So in this case, in Heron's formula, this isn't the full formula, it's just S, okay? But basically, S is just half of the perimeter, okay? So if you're working with triangle ABC, it'd just be A plus B plus C divided by 2, right? But there you have it, okay? Now, keep that in mind, S is 15, so make note of that. We just added the sides up, divided by 2, right? So I'm going to write, in this case, S is 15, okay? Now, here is Herod's formula, okay? It says, if you want the area of a triangle, you know what? I'm gonna just change this so I don't confuse you. I'm just gonna call it ABC, whatever. I caved in. Okay. So here's ABC, right? So Heron's formula just says this, okay? It says, okay, take S, right? You see it's how it's under one big square root, right? Multiply that times S minus A. Multiply that times S minus B. Multiply that times S minus C. Where you say, what do A, B, and C represent? Well, A, B, and C are just the sides, right? So watch this. Keeping in mind that the area was 39.69, right? Let's use Heron's formula. We don't have any angles over here, right? But we can use these sides. So watch. We calculated S. Remember, just take the sides, add them up, divided by 2. So look, we have 15, right, times A, side A is 12, right? So I'm going to put 15 minus 12. B would be 8, so I'm going to put 15 minus 8. And C is 10, so I'm going to put 15 minus 10, okay? So all you have to do is plug that in your calculator. We should get approximately 39.69. Let's see if we're right. Okay, so look, basically you got 15 times 15 minus 12 is 3. 15 minus 8 would be 7. That would be 5, right? So if I took, check it out, if I took the square root, right? The square root of 15 times 3 times 7 times 5, lo and behold, I get 39.69 units squared again. Okay. That's Heron's formulas. That's if you don't have any angles and you don't want to mess with any angles. Okay. If you have all three sides, use Heron's formula. A plus B plus C divided by 2 gives you S. And then use that formula right there to calculate the area. It's so easy. Okay. You don't need Heron's formula if you don't want it, because you can always mess with the angles if you wanted to. But that's it. Those are your two area formulas. Okay. So in triangle ABC, once more, triangle ABC. So here we go. A, B, C, right? If you want the area, you could take 1/2 times A times B times the sine of C. You would have the area. You could take 1/2 times A times C times the sine of B. You would have the area. You could take 1/2 times B times C times the sine of A. You would have the area. Remember, those are two sides with an angle sandwiched in between. Or if you don't have any angles, you could use Heron's formula to say the area equals the square root of S, which is the semi-perimeter, right, times S minus A times S minus B times S minus C. And those are nice ways of calculating the area if we don't have just the classical base and the height, right? Okay. These are alternate ways to find that. Okay. So saying that, you should be able to complete your area homework. Okay. And that will be the last topic that'll be on the test. So the test is just going to be, okay, here's a triangle, solve it using law of sines or law of cosines. You have to pick, maybe find the area, and then we're going to, later this week, we're going to get us in some applications. So appreciate you guys watching all the videos. As promised, I got a special visitor. Okay, I got yelled at for not having him last time. And it looks like he's awake, so hold on one second. Let me see that baby. Yeah. Oh. Oh, goodness. As promised, here's baby Grayson. You say hey to everybody? We're very poor. We can't afford clothes. So I'm just kidding. He's feeding right now, but um, that's baby Grayson. And he's the reason I got to take a little time off. But he will learn this soon enough when he's old enough to calculate areas of triangles and use law of sines and cosines. So we're going to go back and get some more food. But hope you guys enjoyed, and keep an eye out for the other videos, okay? You falling asleep? Is my math lesson putting you to sleep already, Grayson? Okay. All right, guys. I'll see y'all soon. Talk to you later. Bye.